Welcome to Flashpoint Friday, a weekly series where I select one game at random from Flashpoint's archives and give it a try. And maybe, just maybe, the game might actually be good. Hey there, quick disclaimer before we begin. This game features a certain character getting his head blown off multiple times, leaving a bloody stump in its place. So if that doesn't sound like something you want to see, then you might want to consider sitting this episode out.
Give yourself to the dark side.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Flashpoint Friday. It's that time of year again. May the 4th is right around the corner, so time for another Star Wars game on the series, and the one we got is Gun Down the Gungan by Zooass.com. Boy, what a name for a website, right? The website is no longer around. Closest I could find is a Newgrounds profile with the same name and a handful of Flash animations and games on there that were presumably hosted on the website originally.
Give yourself to the dark side.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Lord Vader. But, yeah, I think I know what we're gonna play here. Without any further ado, let's get this over with, I suppose. Alright, level 1.
Use the Force.
Is that a bong Yoda's holding? Oh, geez. One of those games, isn't it? Get 40 kills. Whoop. Whoop. Okay. And we're in. And whoa, this is really fast. Holy cow. You really gotta test your reflexes on this one. Man. I'm not sure if this was meant to be this fast, or this is a problem with the emulation, or maybe since it's presumably an older game, probably made when Episode 1 first came out, maybe it was meant for computers with slower processors. But, yeah, this seems to be going a little too fast. I don't know about this, but I mean, maybe if you get good at it, you know, is one of those types of things, but
Don't
okay,
fail
and we
me again.
did not kill enough to progress.
Give yourself to the dark side.
Okay, and it's back out to the main menu. Okay. So, yeah, I suppose maybe a bit of context might be in order for those who might have been out of the loop at the time, or were too young, or passage of time, maybe weren't even born yet when The Phantom Menace came out. People really hated Jar Jar, or at least people in some circles, at least, really hated Jar Jar. And they often vented their frustrations by making all sorts of...
Give yourself to the dark side.
Sorry, I had to pause because I knew Vader was going to talk again. There was a whole cottage industry there for a while of Flash animations and games featuring all manner of violence being committed against poor hapless Jar Jar here. I don't know. As for me, I've always personally liked Jar Jar. I mean, on some level, I kind of get the dislike, but it was way too intense. And Vader's about to talk
Give
again.
yourself to the dark side.
And unfortunately, it was so intense, and there was death threats being thrown around with the actor who played him, Ahmed Best, that he fell into a depression and it was suicidal even for a while. But fortunately, he's in a much better mental and emotional state right now. Fans have come around, especially younger fans who watched the movies when they were kids and such, and always liked Jar Jar.
Give yourself to the dark side.
All right, Vader, come on. You don't have to say that every single time, but long story short, Ahmed Best is doing a lot better now, and I think he played a character in the Mandalorian series not too long ago. I don't know. I haven't really kept up on that, but let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and play again, see if I do any better, and I'll
Use the Force.
talk a bit more about my hot take on Jar Jar Binks here. I've always liked Jar Jar, and sure, he is, annoying, but that's kind of the point of the character. But he's also the comic relief character. He's not that different, I feel, from the role C-3PO played in the classic trilogy. And on the subject of 3PO, I don't know, it's like Star Wars is such a vast setting that it doesn't have to be serious and mature all the time. Like, don't get me wrong, some of my favorite bits of Star Wars media are the kind of more mature content. Rogue One is my favorite Star Wars movie, and Andor.
Don't fail me again.
All right, Vader.
Give yourself
All
to
right,
the
Vader.
dark side.
Andor is not only my favorite Star Wars TV show, it might be my favorite piece of Star Wars media ever. That show is phenomenal. But at the same time, I guess I'll play one more time since these are so fast. At the same time, though, I also have a soft spot for some of the goofy Star Wars media that's come out. Like, for instance, the Star Wars Droids Saturday morning cartoon from the early 80s. And I like the scene in the Star Wars holiday special with B. Arthur running her cantina. The Boba Fett cartoon in that is decent as well. I should stress that those are the only parts of the holiday special that I like. The rest of it is a total train wreck. But I guess my point is that Star Wars is such a vast setting that there's plenty of room for the silly things and the more kid-friendly things alongside the mature and serious stuff.
Don't fail me again. Give yourself to the dark side.
But enough ruminating on the state of Star Wars and whatnot. What are my thoughts on this game? I am not impressed with Gun Down the Gungan. This is one of those countless Jar Jar murder simulators that was super popular back when Episode 1 was the Star Wars movie everyone was talking about, in some circles everyone was just hating on. And that's not... Oh, gotta wait for Vader.
Yourself to the dark side.
And if you don't like Jar Jar or The Phantom Menace or Star Wars in general, fair enough, but don't be a jerk about it and don't be overly hateful. I mean, giving in to hate leads to the dark side after all, right? I guess to close out with this, I'll recommend there's a YouTube channel called So Uncivilized that has a video about The Phantom Menace, but Jar Jar specifically. I'll go ahead and leave a link to it in the video description. And he does a much better job of explaining Jar Jar's virtues than I ever could. But I'll just go ahead and leave it here. I gotta wait for Vader one more time.
Give yourself to the dark side.
Okay. But yeah, you're not missing much if you decide not to play this game. And in some ways, really, this game is kind of more immature than Jar Jar himself. So, food for thought. And in any case, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Flashpoint Friday. May the Force be with you, and take care, everyone.